right, let's begin. Since we are hello. All right, Simeon, let's begin. All right, thank you very much. Okay. All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to September 2022's edition of our YP monthly technical meet. So this is the first for this new board year, and we're really excited to have you guys here. This is a professional series on LinkedIn optimization. We have a couple of people here, so I believe that we can begin the program for today. All right, once again, welcome to today's event, and we hope you have a great time. So what are we going to be doing today? This is the agenda for the program. We're going to begin with our opening prayer. We hope not to spend more than 1 hour, 30 minutes or 1 hour, 40 minutes here. So please hang in there, and we believe you're going to have a blast. We'll go to our safety brief, bring in our moderator, and then keep going to our opening remarks from our section chair. We're also going to be recognizing our senior members on the call. And we're going to go to the presentation proper on LinkedIn. And then after the presentation, we're going to have a question and answer session. And then we're going to have the exciting thing, the Kahoot quiz and membership drive for those of us that are not members of SP and those of us that are members of SP but have not renewed our membership for the new year. We're going to then be closing after that, and then we're going to have a photograph session. So just hang in there, and we believe you're going to have a good time. So before we move on, let's just have our opening prayer. So we have one of us, Chirike, has volunteered to take our opening prayer today. So over to you, Chirike.
In Jesus' name. Father, we thank you for today. We give you all the glory. We worship you. Father, we thank you for gathering us together once more. We pray for wisdom and understanding throughout this session. We pray that you protect us wherever we are and you guide us in all that we do. For in Jesus' name I've prayed. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Chirike, for that. All right, to begin the meeting, we're going to start with the safety brief as usual. It's always important that you know the etiquette of the meeting that you are in. And so please, when you're not speaking, keep your mics on mute. Raise your hands if you want to speak, if you want to make any contributions, any comments, or ask any question, please raise your hand so that you will be called up and unmuted. And also during the lecture, if you have comments and if you have questions, please use the convention to put them on the chat box. So before every comment you make, put the letter C and then put a hyphen and put your comments. And for every question you would like to ask, put a letter Q and then a hyphen and then ask your question so we can easily sort out the things that need to be attended to. Also ensure that wherever you are, make sure you still can hear the fire alarm, even with the headset that you have on. And also be very alert of your environment. And as much as possible, stay safe, whether you're on the road or you're in an office or you're at home. And also keep your health safe as well. Don't touch your face if you are contaminated in any way, and also follow every form of safety precaution. Thank you very much. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to bring in the moderator. So our moderator today, Obianuju Isichele, field engineer with Baker Hughes. Obianuju is a graduate of petroleum engineering from the Federal University of Technology, Owerri. She started her career as an assistant project technical coordinator for Peggy's Global Services Limited. Obianuju is data-driven and she describes herself as a hybrid engineer. She has honed her skills in completions and drilling engineering, petroleum economics, project management, business analytics, and business development. She is currently a field engineer with Baker Hughes, where she performs drilling and formation evaluation services. Bianuju is the founder of the Women of Purpose Leadership and Entrepreneurship Network, WOPLEN. She's an excellent team player and believes that the success of her team represents her own success. She's an active member of the Society of Petroleum Engineers, our body SPE, where she started out as a student member, planning and organizing chapter events and ALP sessions. She has now transitioned to a young professional member. Over the past 2 years, she has served in various capacities and committees, including the 2021 and 22 NICE Protocol and Communications Committee. She is currently the SPA Section 103 YP Women Leaders Team Lead. So please, let's welcome Obianuju Isicheli to take over the meeting as our moderator.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, Israel, for that warm welcome. I hope we're all excited to be here today. This is our very first monthly technical meeting for this board year, and it's actually a very special one. So before I continue, I'll go ahead and share my slide. A moment, please. Thank you. Yes, so can you see the slide?
Yes, I can see the slide.
Yes, you're visible.
Okay, thank you. So this, like I was saying, today's session is very important because this is our first monthly technical meeting for the board year. And in light of actually progressing and advancing ourselves professionally, the technical committee has put this together to help us grow professionally. But with before we progress, we'd like to recognize the leader of SP Section 103, Daniel Abia. In the person of Daniel Abia, I don't know if he's in the meeting now to take the opening remark.
Not yet, Uju, but I would go ahead.
Okay. All right, Ofuri, you can take the opening remark. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, good. Thanks so much, Uju. And good evening, everyone. Trust our day has been good. Once again, you're welcome to the first YP monthly technical meeting for the new board year. We're super excited to have you join us this evening. And indeed, I'm not going to say too much word because our speaker is ready. And I feel this session or this first MTN, I think it was properly chosen by the team. Kudos to the team for this topic because every professional needs to see how they can stand out in every sphere of life. And the LinkedIn is one platform that is really very pivotal in our career growth as professionals in even any area outside the oil and gas industry. The LinkedIn is one platform in which people have actually gotten jobs, gotten fantastic opportunities, both locally and globally. And we feel this is a really great session. And me, myself, I'm ready to take as much notes as possible because I'm ready to get as many opportunities that LinkedIn has to offer. And I'm very much aware that the speaker is prepared and she'll sure do justice to this LinkedIn optimization course. We are all ready to progress and get the best from our own professional lives. So just make sure you have your pen ready, make sure you have your notes ready as she does justice and she takes us through that on how we can properly position ourselves, work on our LinkedIn profile and see how the fantastic opportunities come to you. I think I won't say too much. just before maybe I hand over to our moderator, I see Professor Michael Yunkowo on the call. Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you for joining. I also see Dr. Adalbi. Thanks so much for joining on time. We are so grateful to have you join us this evening. And of course, we'll continue with recognition of our senior members as they join the call. Thanks so much, Uju. I'll hand over now to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ofwe, for that very brief and very precise remark on behalf of the section chair. And I see that you've also recognized the presence of our senior members on the call. But as they come in, I would actually indulge you, Ofwe, to you can interrupt and then welcome the senior members on the call too while you see them. Well, thank you very much for the recognition. And on behalf of the entire team and SP Section 103, I'd like to welcome everyone to this meeting today. So before I introduce the speaker, we have to understand that today's topic is very important because LinkedIn is a very huge platform, as we all know. And we know that LinkedIn actually generates a lot of revenue. I think in 2021, LinkedIn actually publicized that Microsoft, that happens to be the owner of LinkedIn, actually publicized how they generated millions of dollars as revenue on LinkedIn. So that goes to tell us that LinkedIn is actually very important. And it's not something that we as professionals or young professionals should joke with, which is why the team brought this together to help us position ourselves better for career success. So I'm going to beg every one of us to sit back, make sure you're in a quiet place, make sure you are equipped with your pen and your notepad, because you're going to have a lot of information that you would need to take down. But before I introduce the speaker, I would like to give us a fun fact, something to actually whet our test boards as the speaker come on board. And one of it is that, did you know that 6 LinkedIn users get hired every minute of the day? So it means that while we are here, people that actually optimize their LinkedIn page are getting hired every 6 minutes. So it's something that we should know, and it's something that should awaken us. And another one is that 87% of recruiters use LinkedIn to vet candidates during hiring process. I think a lot of us already know this. So we know that while we apply for that job, most of our recruiters actually go back to our LinkedIn page to actually vet us and say, okay, let's know if this person is actually worth being hired, right? So you see why it's important. While I introduce the speaker to, I would love us to actually use the chat. I would like comments, I would like feedbacks, I would like to see encouragement while the speaker speaks. And I also like to see notes, like we can drop notes as to what we're learning while the speaker is taking our presentation. Now, the speaker is Jessica T. Orica. We're talking about LinkedIn optimization, and then there's no better person to do this than a content marketing specialist at Foundation Marketing, Inc., a B2B, which is business to business content marketing agency based in Halifax, Canada. She has 6 years of experience creating a variety of niche content, including blog articles, ebooks, case studies, and other B2B content types. Alongside content marketing, she has dedicated time to helping professionals optimize their LinkedIn profiles. Her goal is to help people improve their chances of landing better jobs. Away from the career world, she's a relationship counselor. She recently launched Real Convos, a media brand dedicated to helping young people build healthier relationships and fulfilling lives. So it's actually a packed session, and we're bringing you the best. So please join me in welcoming Jessica T. Orica. Please give her a warm welcome as she takes the virtual stage. You're very welcome, Jessica T. Orica.
Hi, everyone.
I would like clapping icon, please. Thank you very much. Let's encourage her with the clapping icon.
Okay, hello everyone, good evening. If you can hear me, please just say hi in the chat section. I just want to be sure that we can hear me loud and clear. Okay, I'm not seeing anybody saying hi, so I'm just assuming that we're not hearing me. Okay, yeah, I can see hi. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Ofuri. Thank you, Promise. Thank you, everyone. David, thank you, Victor. Thank you, Obianuju. All right, so I want to quickly share my slides with you. Please kindly give me a few minutes. I'm sharing that right now. Yeah, I'm sharing. I don't know why it's wasting time. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm sharing this. Okay, please, if you can see my screen, confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, Jessica, I can see it.
Okay, yeah, you can see it. All right. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. All right, so hello everyone again. Good evening. My name is Jessica T. Orika, and I'm going to quickly introduce myself. I've been given 30 to 45 minutes, I think, to speak. So I'm going to try to focus on the important parts, the parts that would help us grow. So my name is Jessica T. Orika. I'll be getting married next month. So my last name is going to be changing. The next thing about me is I don't like rice. I like to say I don't like rice because people see that as weird, but then I don't know why I don't like rice. I guess it's because in school then there's this kind of stew that they normally used to serve with rice that really affected me. So I don't have a very good experience with rice. So please, in case if you're planning to buy me stuff, please don't buy me rice. Thank you. All right. So also I stammer, I have a stutter, but I don't let it hold me back. If I was letting it hold me back, I won't be here talking to you today. So I just wanted to use this as a medium to encourage anyone out there, maybe who is like me, who stammers or one thing or the other. I really hope that you don't let that hold you back. Okay, the next thing is I wanted to be a medical doctor. So I wanted to be a doctor for kids when I was younger. But I guess, and then that's actually why I wear glasses. I wasn't born with eye issues or anything, but I started wearing my friend's glasses because I thought that the people who study medicine are supposed to wear glasses. And from wearing her glasses, it now affected my eyes. So now I wear glasses. All right. So the next thing is I studied computer engineering. I finished in 2016. So I studied computer engineering, but I discovered that that's not what I want to do with my life. That's not my passion. I also wanted to be an ethical hacker while studying computer engineering. That was my goal. I had this grand plan, but I had an experience in 2016 that transformed my life. So I started paying attention more to my natural giftings. If I had that experience before 2016, maybe I definitely wouldn't have chosen computer engineering as a course. So as a result of the experience, I started content writing in 2016, and I'm still a content writer, but I've developed other skills that has positioned me now as a content marketing specialist. And I work with Foundation Marketing Inc. It's a brand that's based outside the country in Canada. Yeah, so they actually serve SaaS brands and other brands that sell to other businesses. So I create content for them, both long form and short form content. But before then, I used to do a lot of other kinds of writing, including optimizing people's LinkedIn profiles and so on. That's how I have a lot of experience on it. And I have some results too from it, to personal results, which I will be sharing, not client-based results. I'm just here to teach us and to take us on what the whole LinkedIn is about and how we can use LinkedIn to position ourselves better. So the first thing I will show you is, I think when the moderator was speaking, she shared some stats about LinkedIn. So I may not waste so much time there, but I have some stats on LinkedIn that you should know about. Then I will talk about creating a LinkedIn account, but I don't think I'm going to focus so much on creating a LinkedIn account because I want to believe that everybody here has a LinkedIn account, but I would ask you that question as we go. Then I'll tell you how to set up your LinkedIn profile and building your portfolio via LinkedIn, building your network, and how to land job opportunities on LinkedIn. So if you are ready, let's move to the next phase. All right, so why LinkedIn? Before we start talking about why LinkedIn, how many of us have a LinkedIn profile? If you have a LinkedIn profile, can you type yes in the chat? Thank you everyone for telling me congratulations. I can see the congratulations. Okay, all right. I'm seeing a lot of people have. Shukwe Buka does not have. Okay, maybe we can chat later about you creating one. I can send you some links to create one because I'm not sure we may be able to do the whole creation process since 90% have LinkedIn profile. 90% have LinkedIn profiles. Okay, all right. Thank you everyone for responding. I appreciate you. The next question is, when was the last time you went on LinkedIn? Can we type? When was the last time you went on LinkedIn? Today, yesterday? Okay, only 2 people have responded. This afternoon, today. Wow, this is really nice. It's good to see that people are using LinkedIn a lot because there's some people that use LinkedIn in the next 6 months. Did this person say every 6 months or every moment? Okay, I believe it's every moment that the person said. Okay, registered for the meeting via LinkedIn. Wow, nice. All right, we have a lot of people who use LinkedIn. So, and you guys use LinkedIn a lot. So I'm really happy about that. Another question before we move, this is not part of my slide. Have you ever gotten a job via LinkedIn? Have you gotten a job offer via LinkedIn? Have you applied for a job and gotten a job? Okay, I'm saying no. I'm saying yes. Yes. No. Yes. Okay, I think there are more no's than yes. Okay, I'm saying yes. All right. That's actually okay. And somebody said I've applied for a job, but that person has been served multiple breakfasts. All right. I believe whatever you learn here in this course would actually help you move on. Okay, so I'm moving away from the chat to what I'm supposed to teach today. Okay, so the first thing is why you should take LinkedIn seriously. First of all, the reason why you should take LinkedIn seriously is that we have 87% of recruiters that use LinkedIn regularly. So at the later part of this chart, you are going to see an example of, I just brought out 2 examples of recruiters that actually reached out to me via LinkedIn. I know most of us here actually believe in God because I believe that the person who prayed started the prayer praying to God. Started the meeting, or rather, we started the meeting praying to God. So you see how we all go to church, or we go to wherever we go to, and then we say, oh God, I need favor. I need you to grant me favor and everything. And then, this person comes up on stage and says stuff like, I was just on my own and somebody approached me for a job and so on. Part of the reason for that is because the person positioned the person's self well. I used to tell people that searching for a job or your own growth when it comes to your job, like what you're trying to position yourself as the value you're trying to add to life, is that you should treat it as a full-time job. So whether you have a job or not, try to treat job search, try to treat your own growth as a full-time job. So knowing that people are looking for you, but it's just that they have not met the version of you that they are looking for, it tells you that you should position yourself well on these platforms, because recruiters look for people on LinkedIn, and 87%, that's a whole lot of number, including here and outside the country. The next start is we have 51.6% of decision makers and 48.4% of influencers are on LinkedIn. Okay, let me quickly break this down, right? These decision makers are the people that make hiring decisions. A recruiter is not a decision maker. A recruiter is a talent sourcer. They source for talents. They source for multiple talents. And they come up with, they actually come up with a list of people that could be a possible fit for a particular role. And then when you apply, the people that make decisions based on those names that those recruiters brought, or based on you who saw the job ad and applied for it, those are the people that make the decisions. All those C-suite executives, for example, director of maybe the particular department that you want to work in. Say you want to work in the accounting department, for example, the person who is like the team lead for accounting department is going to take part in the decision-making process. So you want to position yourself well such that even before your name actually enters the room, you already have some sort of relationship with these people, or you've already positioned yourself in a way that you can catch their eyes. People who are also influencers are people who, they are very known in the space. So even if they cannot directly offer you a job, they can also, refer you to a person that can get you a job. For example, I had this friend, he finished studying and he was looking for a job, and he connected with someone who had a huge following on LinkedIn, and the person really liked him. They both had this chat, and the person really liked him. And the person referred him for the current job that he's on now. So you actually want to just position yourself on LinkedIn. This is why you should take LinkedIn seriously. Okay, so the next thing is, another thing is 92% of Fortune 500 companies use LinkedIn. This simply means that most of those top brands they are looking for, because I know, okay, some people here work in Shell, all those Shell, Chevron, all of those people, they use LinkedIn. I know some of my friends who are here use LinkedIn, and some of them got their jobs through LinkedIn, some did not get their job through LinkedIn. So, people hire people, there are hiring decisions happening every time on LinkedIn, and you don't want to be leaving money on the table. So most of these stats, let me mention that most of these stats are between 2020 to 2021. So they are not like old stats. So there are 15 plus million open jobs on LinkedIn. That's as at the time I created this slide and updated the slide. That's 15 million open jobs. That is the beginning of this year. So imagine how many there are now. Searches for remote job. I don't want to only focus on remote job, because I know that there are some roles. In fact, I think majority of the roles that have nothing to do with content creation or anything soft, a soft skill like writing code and so on, would require you to go on site. So not all of us get a remote job. And I usually don't like to encourage people to learn a digital skill because they actually want to move from working, from going to work on site to working remotely. I feel like there are some jobs that you cannot but go to the office. Maybe there are times that they can give you an opportunity to work from home, right? But there are some jobs that you must go to site, you must go to the office. So if you take on if you learn a digital skill, for example, just because you want to work from home, well, that's a good thing, but it may not be a very strong thing. It's not a very wise thing to do in the long run if you don't have anything that you're holding on to for that. All right, so please, if you have questions, you can be keeping your questions. That would be nice. All right, so moving on. Your LinkedIn profile is your resume, it's your online resume, it's your portfolio online, it's your personal brand, and it gives you an opportunity to build relevant local and global connections. That means you can connect with people both in Nigeria, you can connect with people outside Nigeria, such that, in fact, just in case you're on this call and you're listening to me and you're planning to go outside the country, right? You don't have to go outside the country to wash plates. You don't have to go outside the country to sell stuff. You don't have to go outside the country to, do those basic jobs where they pay you how many dollars per hour or so. You can actually start from here and start building. So for example, I'm just giving an example, right? If you're somebody who can write, for example, but you currently have a job where you actually work full-time in a particular place, right? You can use your night to be building your writing skill, for example. Because me now, I had times in my life too where I had to do a full-time job outside where I had to be going to work every day, while I now use my night periods to work on my writing. I never stopped writing, really. I kept writing consistently. So now I'm positioned in such a way that if I say I want to relocate today, I'm not stranded when it comes to job or money. Why? Because the kind of skill I have is one that I can use basically anywhere anywhere I go, anywhere I go. I don't know whether I would require a work permit. I think I would require a work permit for some jobs, but for this particular one, while I'm working on my work permit, right, I can also be, working on this one too as well. And there are some companies that, for example, if they want to hire you and move you over, they can help you, with all of those work permit stuff and then so on. By the way, I'm not really giving you a specific counsel in this area. I'm just sharing what I know and what has worked for me. So if you are going outside or you're listening to me, you're somebody who just finished school and you don't have an established path, you're not established on a path right now, right? You are in a better position to consider digital skills that are in line with what you want to do long term or can move you into what you want to do long term. For example, I am a content marketing specialist. One of the things I want to do with my life long term is I want to go full time into relationship counseling. I've started it, but that's something I would want to do full time in the future. And me working as a content marketing specialist, there's a lot of skills that I'm acquiring now that can help me when I want to transition there. So this is how I think of my life as a whole. I know money is important. Money is very important. Anybody who tells you money is not important is a very big liar. But even while money is important, right, we need to keep in mind that it's important for us to position ourselves well in line with what we want to do long term. The next thing is LinkedIn is less about who you know. Like in this country now, we know that I've seen cases where people pay money to get a job because they said, oh, you cannot get this role unless you pay so and so. I've seen cases where people say, oh, for you to get this particular job, you need to, sleep with this person, or you need to know somebody higher and so on. But LinkedIn has leveled the playing field for everybody. It's about, number one, what you know in terms of your knowledge. So this is specifically for people who have not started anything. If you know you just finished school or you are finished school since, but for some reason you're not really doing anything, or you're doing something, but the thing you're doing is not so it's not so interesting, or it's not so engaging, or it's not what you want to do long term. LinkedIn is about what you know, which means go and acquire professional certifications, go and learn stuff on a particular career line. Don't be a jack of all trades. Try to start with something first. If it's not working out, you can always move into another thing, but don't stay idle. You want to make sure you are using your time, volunteering for what you can volunteer for, learning what you can learn, doing stuff that push you forward. Number two, it's about what you have done. So if you are here, for example, and you've not done really anything, while volunteering, your volunteer experience can be a part of your your growth plan, and it can be a part of what people can see that you've done. For example, I have this friend. She was sharing that her first job that she got, when they were looking at her list of experiences, everything they were looking at were volunteer experiences, and she was hired over people who had experiences. I don't know if you get it. It's about positioning. It's about making strategic volunteer decisions, not just volunteering here and there, but choosing something in line with who you want to become. So the first thing is just being clear of where you are going to and so on. If you already have an established career path, yours is even better because you have things to fill in. People can see what you have done in the past and they can hire you based on that. But you also want to be somebody who is not scattered here and there. Like, people should be able to see that you have been consistent on a particular line, or even if you moved away from the line, what you are doing is still related to what you were doing before, unless you are starting a completely different career path altogether, then that's a different story. The next thing is what you can do. Based on what you have done, they can tell what you can do. The next thing is what you are doing currently and who you can connect with. That's what LinkedIn is about. So moving on, the next thing is setting up your LinkedIn profile. So like I said, I'm going to skip here because most of us have LinkedIn profiles. Okay, so while I'm skipping it, okay, sorry, let me go back. Okay, so the next thing is how to set up your LinkedIn profile. So the important components of a LinkedIn profile is your profile picture, your headline section, your featured section, your about section, your experiences and skills and recommendation section. So let's quickly talk about your profile picture. Number one, the thing about your profile picture is, first of all, please choose an image that looks like you right now, not an image that is like five years old. Try to choose something that looks like you right now. Number two, choose a high resolution image, not something that is blurry. I'll show you examples. Number three, if you can, use headshots. Avoid using full body photos. I don't think people are interested in seeing your full body. If you're tall, if you're beautiful, if you're handsome, if you're anything, we know you're beautiful, we know you're handsome. We don't want to see your full body. We just want to see like your face, so that people can know who they are trying to hire or who they are trying to actually relate with. The next thing is, please avoid using group pictures or pictures where you're partying or one thing or the other. That's something that you do in your personal time. Try not to bring it into your professional life, or maybe picture where you're holding a Bible, for example. That's not actually bad. But for LinkedIn, I mean, just come with what is necessary, not what is not really necessary. Yeah. So put on a welcoming expression. You can decide to smile. Me, my whole profile picture. Okay, my first profile picture, I was smiling, but in the current one, I'm not smiling, but my face is normal. Yeah. So you want to put on a welcoming expression or put on a boss-like expression, something like that. Also, avoid using backgrounds that compete with you and the image. So that means avoid using anything distracting. If you can go with plain, that's fine. If you can go with something like Spartan, but it's not really distracting, that's fine too. The next thing is dress decently. So we've had cases on LinkedIn where people say stuff like, oh, this person chatted me up and, is trying to, throw some saying some things that are not appropriate to be said to me. So first of all, we cannot deny that some people, something is really wrong with them and they don't know how to draw the line on whether you are wearing turtleneck or anything. They'll still have something to say. But it's also important that you're not part of the issue. You're not part of the people inspiring them to say that to you. So that's why it's important to dress decently as possible. As decently as possible is very important. And use a picture with great lighting. So let me quickly show you a picture. These are pictures I found that were nice. This is my former profile picture, not my current profile picture. And if you notice, I am smiling. Let me show you my current profile picture. I'm not smiling, sorry. Okay. Yes, this is my current profile picture. Obviously, I'm not smiling, but it still works. So you just look for, and if you notice the background to is plain, it's not competing. Of course, like I said, if you still have one that is competing, that is okay for you to use, that's fine, that works. It just depends on you. So moving on. Okay, yeah, these are examples of profile pictures that you should avoid. Number one, this guy is putting, I don't know what that is, but he's putting it on his face. You want to avoid that. This other one's picture is blurry. You want to avoid that. This other person's picture, I think it's him and his wife or him and his babe, anyone. I mean, people want to just see you, not you and your babe that is trying to pick up. But I'm sure that you actually get what I'm saying. Yeah, all right. So moving on. Your headline is something very important. So that's how LinkedIn users or recruiters find you, and it's the first thing that people see when they search for your profile. It's also an opportunity for you to show the world what you do in 220 characters, not more than that. Also, it creates people's first impression about you as they scroll through LinkedIn. Actually, when it comes to scrolling through LinkedIn, there are two things that creates people's first impression about you, or three things rather. Number one, the kind of content that you create on LinkedIn. For example, for me as a writer, when people are looking at what I'm sharing, for example, they are looking at Do I understand what I'm writing about? Am I writing in such a way that I am teaching others what I know? Number one. Number two, they are looking at my writing style. Is it easy for it to flow? Okay, if she can write this way, it means she can also, create the same thing in my brand as well. If she can write in a way that is very simple for people to relate to it, and she's teaching something as she goes, that means it's very easy for her, for us to work together and so on. So, and then the comments that you make on people's posts. I've seen people who like to argue about every and anything. I mean, there are some things that does not call for your attention at all. You should not argue. It's not every conversation that you should join into. So, for example, somebody writes something that you don't agree with. There are ways to communicate the fact that you don't agree with what they are saying. And without sounding insulting or disrespectful. So even if you don't agree with a particular point, right, add value to that conversation. How? Share why you don't agree with it and share your own perspective on it instead of, using words that are not really nice, very insulting words. That's not nice. The next thing again, you should also know about, sorry, I said three things creates your first impression for LinkedIn. And that thing that creates your first impression is that this headline I'm referring to right now. It also determines how easily recruiters find you. For your headline, you want to use keywords, industry keywords. For example, I am a content marketing specialist. I am a content writer. Let me show you an example. I'm a content marketing specialist and I'm a content marketing specialist and I'm a content writer. And I know that when people search for me, when people are searching for people with my skill set, they use either this keyword, content marketing specialist, or they use content writer. And because I am niche, I'm not just a generalist. I don't write general pieces for people. That was how I started, but that's not who I am right now. I started as a generalist, but I grew to niche down. So because I know that these are the people that I'm serving, B2B SaaS brands. SaaS simply means software as a service. Product like Zoom, for example, products like Slack, and some of these other products as well are the people that I target. So because I know the people that I'm writing for, I put it there too. Why? Because when people are trying to hire, right, they are looking for specifics, people who are specialists in a particular thing, in a particular area and so on. Maybe they can be looking for a generalist, but I know most of the time, especially in my own space, they look for specialists. In your own space, so somebody who studied accounting, for example, if you put it in your headline, for example, and put the certification that you have, maybe a recognized certification, for example, and they are searching and they find you, that actually helps your chances. It boosts your chances. And that reason why I put this here is because this is a recognized brand in my space. I wouldn't always encourage you. If you work at Shell, for example, you should put it there. It's a recognized brand. If you work at brands that they are recognized in your space, you should put it there. Why? Because it's part of social proof. It actually means that if this brand can trust you and they work with you for this amount of time, it means that we can also trust you as well. It boosts their chances of saying, okay, we can put you in the pool of people that we can potentially trust. When you finish going through our vetting process and so on, if you feel like we can move ahead with you, then we will move ahead with you. So I just felt like I should just quickly show you with mine because I don't want to spend so much time. My slides are really much, I should say that, but I want to move it along faster so we don't spend so much time because I feel like my time is almost gone. All right, so I just showed you an example of headline. So quickly, before writing your headline, you need to define your career goals. You need to discover what kind of job are you looking for, what are you good at, what are you interested in, what companies would you like to work at, what matters to you the most at this point in your life. Is it at this point in your life, what this means is just, are you looking to gain more experience and work with a good brand, or are you just looking for money and so on? So defining your career goals, first of all, helps you to know what title that you want to go by, even if you have not become that title yet, right? It just helps you to know, okay, this is who I want to become in the next so and so years, or in the next so and so months. So that will determine the kind of training you take. It determines the way you position yourself. It determines the kind of brand that you look out for. It determines what your goal is. For example, somebody like me who has had like six years experience, I won't be looking for to gain more experience. I'll be looking for people who can pay me for my experience, because I have gained the experience and I'm getting better. Growth never really stops. You keep growing. But at the level that I am right now, I feel like I should be looking for people who would pay me for my experience while I'm still growing. But for someone who is just starting, you should be looking for roles that give you experience. And there are some that will give you both experience and money. But if you find one that gives you experience, take it on and start. While you are looking for the one that will pay you money, you are building your portfolio as you go. The next thing is, yes, I just quickly wanted to highlight this. Please don't put all this long thing on your profile. Blockchain enthusiast, crypto evangelist, influencer, inspirer, chief visionary, all of those things. Please try to avoid that. Stick to who you are. If you are unemployed now, like I said, you can gain experience, volunteer experience, you can build experience. If you're somebody who is a software developer, or you have a soft skill that requires you using your mind, you can build your portfolio by yourself. When you gain experience, as you keep gaining knowledge, you want to experiment those things and add them as a part of your portfolio to show people that you can do what you can do. You don't wait for people to give you a chance. You give yourself a chance first. So if you are in this position, if you are like someone who a lot of things will require you to create with your mind and so on, not to say others don't create with their mind, but they create with both their minds and their hands, like people who do work and so on. They are different from people who sit down to write, who can produce products that people can see and interact with online. You don't wait for people to give you a chance. Please give yourself a chance. And if you're somebody who, you are with people who, you are in a place where you can't directly show what you know by just writing and, by creating content or by writing a line of code or anything, or by designing stuff. You would need to find a way to get an opportunity to work with a particular brand. And that's part of what I will show you. All right, so I think I have touched a little on LinkedIn headline. I had lots of examples, but I had to be very fast. The featured section of your portfolio, that's where you showcase some of your best creation or samples of your work. Now, this works well for people who are designers, people who are writers, and people in creative fields. People in creative fields can easily show, but even if you are a reservoir engineer, for example, let's use that as an example. You can share content that shows maybe a particular thing that you, a particular project that you were a part of and what you learned, or something you're learning, or maybe a professional course that you learned, that you took and you learned a lot of things from. You can just be sharing knowledge on that, You don't necessarily need people to like your content. For example, people should interact with your content. We feel good when people interact with our content and so on. But I'm telling you that the majority of the people who will hire you or who will give you a job will never, most of them, I didn't say all, will never like your content. They will never interact with your content. They're just looking, they're just keeping quiet and observing. One day they'll recommend you to somebody, or they will be the ones to even reach out to you by themselves. Or some of them don't even know you, they are just passing by and they just bump into your content and they're like, okay, this is who we are looking for and so on. So you want to prepare yourself beforehand. Just because I said the feature section works well for designers and writers or people in creative field does not mean that you should not put in something there. It's very important for you to go beyond, above and beyond. So this is an example of the featured section. This is someone's featured section. This person is, she's a HR person. What she did was to just create content on different things regarding her field, and she put it in her featured section. Those are content that performed well. This is mine. but I have really, like, a lot has changed on my profile. So maybe you can take some time out, maybe later, to just check it out. But I shared content pieces I have written on, like content pieces I've written on, like things I've done to show people that, okay, this is me, this is me, this is what I've done, this is how I write, this is my process and everything. So this is very, very important. Even if whether you're a writer like me or not, you need to share your knowledge. People just want to see that you can teach what you know. People just want to learn from what you know. And the more you learn how to teach it in a simple language without using a lot of grammar, but still, you know, maintaining certain words so that you don't lose the value of what you are saying, the better for you. Okay, so your about section is where you sell yourself to your recruiters if you are a job seeker, and potential clients if you are a freelancer. So this is an example of an about section for a freelancer, just in case there's somebody here who is into freelancing that I don't know about. Number one, this person, one of the reasons why I like her about section is, first of all, she mentioned what she's good at, what she does. Number one. Number two, she outlined the specific results that she has achieved. She outlined every single thing that she had achieved. Then another thing again is she mentioned how she gets the job done, and she puts a call to action. Now, for you now, maybe you're somebody who does not do what she does. What you can do is, number one, let's go back. Number one, you can mention what you do, what you are good at. Number two, you can mention results you have achieved. For example, if you work with Shell, for example, or if you work with Shell, for example, what are you doing with them currently? How have you added value to them? What projects have you participated on? Even if you did not do it alone, there's something called teamwork. So people want to see teamwork too. So how did you participate, and how did you, grow? What did you do? Do you understand? So what results have you achieved? Yeah. Then the next thing is also, how did you get it done? So maybe just don't touch a lot on that. Maybe just simply summarize. Let me show you mine. Mine is not exactly like hers, but it's also something that you can learn from. Okay, so for mine, for some reason, okay, so for mine, I just made it fun. So I just said, this is me, this is who I am. I mentioned my expertise, what I do, and I also mentioned the brand that I actually work with. I mentioned how I collaborate with several sub teams to create content, that's everything. I mentioned the kind of content that I create. You can also mention your own specialty, what you do, how you add value to your team, and so on. And I included a link to my portfolio, because remember I mentioned it's important in my field. Your own field may be something different, but it's important in my field. I mentioned specific skills that I have that is relevant to what I do. Mention specific skills that are relevant to what you do. Then, I just mentioned other details about me and so on. So this is me, just having fun on my LinkedIn profile while I'm communicating what I'm communicating. So it's all up to you and what you want to do. All right. So, all right, let's move on quickly. I'm going to try to be faster. Okay, experience. This is where you show recruiters and potential clients. This is for, when I say clients, I mean for freelancers, what you have done. The goal is to show as much career consistency as possible. Now, let me show you an example with my profile. When you look at my profile, right, what do you see consistently? Things that are relating to content throughout my career growth. Content. So content marketing specialist, content marketer / writer, marketing content specialist, content strategy manager, content, just when you keep looking is content. Okay, yeah, this was when I served my service year, when I was still trying to balance whether I really wanted to go for content writing or I still wanted to do what I studied in school. Yeah, so content writer. When you look, there's been a bit of consistency, or there has been consistency over the years. And if you're like me, if you're in a position where I am, like, for example, anybody listening who has up to like 3, 5, 10 years experience, people want to see your consistency. You may not have had as much positions as I've had, because, we are all at different levels. And remember, some people have worked with a particular brand for 10 years. I have a friend who has worked with a particular brand for 15 years, so that also counts too. It shows that you actually know what you are doing, and you knew what you were doing for you to even stay with them that long. Or it could also mean that you don't really know your worth if you've not been moving from one stage of growth to another stage of growth while you are there. If you've been on one position for 15 years, then that's an issue. You want to really, check whether there's growth opportunity for you there in that place or not. So you want to go for consistency while updating your LinkedIn profile. You want to go for consistency. I want to quickly use somebody on this call here on this meeting here as an example. So I like giving life examples as much as I can. One of the things I like about her profile is also the consistency too. So when anybody looking at her profile knows that she has been on a line. She studied petroleum engineering, and she's practicing it. She's actually not like me that studied computer engineering and I ran away. But she studied petroleum engineering. You can tell she's passionate about it and she's practicing it. So somebody looking at her profile, for example, if I wanted to hire a person, I would naturally choose her. I even love her profile, really, where the beginning of the profile specifically, this headline that she used. For me, it's nice. It's really like it positions her well. If I search for this now, for example, if I want to search for this right now, for example, I'm pretty sure that her name will be amongst what would come out, actually, because I'm even connected on LinkedIn. But recruiters have a particular style that they use to identify specific people. I'm sure there's a plan on LinkedIn or so that helps them do that. But that's just an example. So I've shown you the experience part, how there's been some level of consistency. So you want to be as consistent as possible. You want to show people that you know your stuff and you are consistent. All right. So moving on. I'm sorry about the noise. Let me just quickly say a few things. Experience trumps certification in the digital world. So even if you have all the papers, but you've not demonstrated your ability in any way, hiring managers and potential clients will always choose somebody with more relevant experience and even less certification. Yes. So you want to make sure that you balance your pursuit of certification with experience. Like I said, you don't need to wait for people to give you an opportunity. Create opportunities by yourself. Be your own hero. Like lift yourself up. So if you're someone who goes to church and you study the Bible, you also know that there were times in the Bible where King David had to encourage himself in the Lord. So you have to encourage yourself by yourself. There are times that people will not recognize who you are or what you carry, unless you put yourself in that position to show people this is who you are and this is where you are headed. So it's very, very important. So, okay, I've spoken about experience. Experience, I've already spoken about this. Like if you have zero experience and you want to land a job, first of all, have a direction. I mentioned that. Take courses to educate yourself. The next thing is learn the ropes from places like YouTube and Google. The next thing is research brands that hire for your skill and see if they are willing to hire you or if they have an internship. This is very, very important. An internship. Reach out to their HR, reach out to the recruiting/talent officers, reach out to the head of different departments, a department that you're interested in, you can reach out to them. If you're going to the accounting department, for example, or the operations department, or any department that is related to your own, go on LinkedIn and search for the head of that department and try to get to them. Then for experience, for mid and experience level, you just need to be clear on where you are going to, number one. Number two, you also need to put experiences that are relevant to the role you are seeking for or career path. Remember the examples that I showed you, and also remember the example, I told you that your LinkedIn is your online resume. It's very important.
Hi, Jessica. I'm so sorry for the interjection. Just wanted to remind you that you have 15 minutes, about 15 minutes more.
Sorry, sir?
You have about 15 minutes more, 15 minutes.
Okay. I'm
Thank
so
you.
sorry. Sorry, I didn't get it. Is it 2 or 3?
15 minutes, 15.
Okay, all right. I'm so sorry about that. I'll be done. I'm very sorry. Okay, so avoid putting unrelated experiences or put them below. For example, you saw that I didn't take out my experience as an engineer. It's still there, but it's down. It's not related to where I'm going to. And please, I'm speaking specifically to mid-level and experienced people, not to people who want to change career paths. If you're changing career paths, it's a whole different story altogether. But for mid-level and experienced staff, this is what you want to do. If you're changing career paths, it's as simple as you're starting over again. So you want to take this path that I mentioned, unless the career path is related to what you already have experience with. Okay, so moving on. Okay, I've given you an example of experiences. Okay, skills and recommendation. The first thing is, this is where recruiters and potential clients can see the skills that you have and the people that have endorsed you and recommended you. So the primary control you have over your endorsements is to be damn good at your job and to create and share relevant, consistent content. Consistency doesn't mean posting every day, but consistency means that you are sharing value. Every time somebody looks at your page or something that you are sharing, it's a valuable thing. Anytime somebody sees a comment that you made on another person's post, it's a valuable thing. You're adding value, you're showing up in that valuable manner. For recommendations, you can ask past and current clients. I'm sorry, I have to move from here because I did not anticipate this.
Okay, let's give Jessica a few minutes. I'm sure she's going to get back to the call. Jessica, as soon as you're ready, please let us know and then we'll continue with the call.
Okay, hi.
Jessica, your voice is breaking. Can you
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Perfect. All right, go ahead. Hello, Jessica, please go ahead. Okay, I think she's struggling with her network at this point. Let's just give her a few seconds to get that together.
Okay, hi, please, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that, please. I just moved, so I did not, this is like my first time here. So I did not anticipate the noise at all. All right, so moving on. I was saying that for recommendations, you can ask past and current clients, colleagues that you've worked with, friends who know your professional history, and your current bosses to leave you glowing recommendations. Yeah, okay, so let me show you an example. So this is an example. I want to show you an example with my profile. Okay, so I have to move from Offer's profile back to mine. Glowing, we're looking for people who would leave you recommendation. Now let me show you the recommendations part of my place. So I received about 10 recommendations from people I have either worked with or people who managed me. So when you check it out, you see that, and please try not to go for people who will lie for you, or don't go for family members, go for people who are in line with what you do. So when you look at the people who left me recommendations, first of all, they're either people that I have worked with, or they are people that you see, okay, when I was starting out, I reached out to people that I had worked with in some capacity. So I reached out to different people who maybe I didn't work with them on like a paid project, but we had worked together in some capacity. So they left recommendation for me. But from here, I started reaching out to people who I have worked with in line with my job and my role, because I wanted them to leave me specific recommendations. You need to ask them to leave you recommendations regarding your work experience. Please don't go for people who actually hate you. And some people that actually hate you, like you did not do anything to them, but they just have this particular dislike for you. Of course, you can, you have the option to either accept or reject their recommendation, right? But you want to go for people who don't hate you. Please try to find people who speak the truth about you, who will be blunt and they will not be biased. It's very important. Maybe you can check out my profile later to see the recommendations, but you should also look for people who are willing to leave recommendations for you. That's important. If you're starting out, maybe don't stress yourself with getting recommendations. But if you've been on this career path for long, you should look for people to give you recommendation. Okay, I think I've already spoken about this portfolio side. Your personal brand amplifies your portfolio on LinkedIn. When people know you for something, they think of you first when they need your services and they refer their network too. So creating content on LinkedIn, if you want to create content, I've already spoken about it. Choose topics around your niche or topics that interest you. Create consistent and engaging content relevant to your network. Please don't copy other people's content and try to pass them off as your own. That is wrong on all standards. It's really wrong. Share other people's content that resonate with you. Find and observe industry experts in your field. See what they are doing and also replicate. Try to replicate. Then finally, I think I have spoken a lot on this. I want to go to building your network, who to connect with on LinkedIn. Number one, professionals that you already know. Number two, professionals that you don't know but you would like to meet. Number three, professionals from extended background. What this means is they don't have to be in your field. You can connect with people in the HR field because those people can be posting job opportunities. You can connect with someone like me. You could learn from the people's content that I like, or learn from people's content that I comment on, or even learn from my own content as well. Connect with people who have a lot of useful connections. Connect with people with potential. That means just choose who you want to connect with and connect with them. Connect with people if you have an existing relationship with them, and follow them if they have a lot of followers. If you follow people, if you try to connect with people that have a lot of followers, chances are they may not see your request, or they may see it and ignore it because they don't know you. So you want to be sure on how you are connecting and following. Use the follow button a lot if they have a lot of followers. Interact with their content, share their content, comment, add value. Please don't leave comments like great or wow, nice. Leave comments that communicate and add value. Also, yes, landing jobs on LinkedIn. So I wanted to quickly show you something, right? I had somebody from TikTok reach out to me I think it's last month or so, reach out to me to offer me a job from doing absolutely nothing. What did I do? I just positioned myself on LinkedIn. I also had somebody, yes, I applied for a job on LinkedIn with a brand that I admire. And, I applied for it because I love the brand, number one. Number two, I love the place that I'm working with. I'm working currently, but it's a particular best practice, which is apply for jobs even while you love where you are working with. Why? You are not looking to leave. You're just trying to keep yourself up to date with the practice, like with the job practice, with the whole interview process and so on, because they may hire you. They may offer you a position, or they may not, but you will learn a particular thing. I've had people offer me positions that I've said no to. Why? Because I love where I'm working right now. Doesn't mean that, I may be there for forever and ever. Who knows? Wherever I'm led to next, I will go. But the thing is always have a particular mindset of, okay, I want to apply for this. Let me go through their process. Let me see how it is. So that when you really need a job, right, you will not be rusting the process. You will not be trying to know, okay, what are the best practices, one thing or the other, and so on. You want to keep yourself up to date. I also had these people reach out to me too. It's not too long ago. I get several requests like this. Why? Because I'm positioned and it's easy to find me. So I just gave you examples of how, so in practical ways that you can position yourself and so on. And I'm hoping, and I just want to use this, as a way to encourage us and to tell us that finding a job on LinkedIn is not hard. What is hard is that people hate doing the things that will get them to where they want to get to, because it's boring and it's stressful. But if you put yourself in that position where, okay, I want to update my profile, I want to ensure that my profile is well optimized. I want to share content that will add value to people. I want to interact with other people's content and so on. I want to search for jobs and not give up on the way because I feel like people are saying no to me. I want to, apply for a particular job, and if they're not reaching me back, I will want to move on. That's very, very important. I was trying to show us an example. This brand that I reached out to, they actually asked if I was open to doing a freelance job for them. And, that's really something, I applied for a full-time role, and then I didn't get it, but I got another offer. Do you understand? So I'm just giving you an example of how things can actually go. You don't want to sit down assuming and then feeling sad and feeling sorry and feeling like, oh, my boss isn't nice to me, or okay, they're not paying me so well, or I feel like I am undervalued, or maybe there's something wrong with me and so on. No, you want to push yourself. You want to look beyond yourself, look into your future, look at the fact that you have kids that will be depending on you. And you also have people that you also want to help, to your family, people who are not even your family. Let's say a widow who has lost everything and so on. You don't want to be part of the people adding to the problem. You want to be somebody who solves problem for people. You don't want to be somebody who also is looking for destiny helpers. You want to be a destiny helper to another person. So I'm just using this medium to encourage us and to tell us that there is no limit when it comes to, positioning yourself on LinkedIn. There is no limit when it comes to landing the opportunities that you desire. It all starts with positioning yourself, preparing yourself for the day that you will get discovered, because you will get discovered first by making yourself discoverable. Thank you so much. And I look forward to your questions.
Wow. It's been a very packed session. Thank you very much, Jessica, for this very enlightening session. In fact, while you were speaking, I went back to my LinkedIn profile and I was making some corrections. So thank you very much for that. I learned a lot. I'm sure a lot of us learned a lot from Jessica today. I'm sure you are itching with your question. For those of us that did not join earlier, Jessica started with telling us why LinkedIn should be taken seriously. And she actually emphasized that by giving us some stats about LinkedIn. She went ahead to tell us what LinkedIn should be all about and how to set up our LinkedIn profile, our profile picture, headline, featured sessions about experience, skills, and recommendations. She also went on to show us how to write our headlines. She talked about experiences, talked about skills and recommendation, and she warned us not to use people that hate us for recommendations. If not, we would not like ourselves. So make sure you use people that you work with or people that have worked with you. Don't use people that would lie for you. Don't use your family members as people that will recommend you for jobs. And also she talked about creating content on LinkedIn, the best practices, and who to connect with on LinkedIn. So this and many more were shared by Jessica. I'm sure we all learned a lot. There's a lot of questions on the comment section. So I'm going to give room for question now. But before she was done, there was a question on the chat box. Chibikem Ezionu asked that, is it okay to use passport photograph as a profile picture, as I don't have studio picture? So Jessica, that question is for you.
Okay, thank you for that question. do you mean passport photograph that you took with your phone, like a selfie that you took with your phone, or a passport photograph that was printed that you snapped that way? If you're referring to a passport photograph that was printed and you snapped, please don't use that. Please don't use that. Please don't. If you're referring to a photo that was taken with your phone, is a selfie, I would not advise that, because LinkedIn is not Facebook. I wouldn't advise that. Yeah, I wouldn't advise that at all. So what I would advise rather is this: if you have somebody who has a very good phone, like a very good phone, and you have good lighting, maybe you can go outside to snap it, or the person has like this ring light stuff, you can take that while you're anticipating to go to a studio. But you can equally go to a studio to snap. Snapping a studio photo is about 500 naira or 1,000 naira tops. So unless you're saying that you cannot afford 1,000 naira or 500 naira, that's another conversation that we should have. But if you know you can afford 1,000 naira or 500 naira to snap one studio picture that you're going to put, I mean, you can. One of the things that I love about studio is that you can enter the studio and snap like 85 photos and be looking at yourself in all. Like, you can just choose one and pay the money and go. If that's what you actually decide to do, it's a once and done stuff, and it's something you can in your profile for like 2 years or even more, but not like. At least you should change it at some point, but it's not that you should be changing it every time. I don't know if you get, but that's why I would advise you, please, if you can afford 500 naira or 1,000 naira, please go to a studio near you and let them give you a nice shot. You don't need to have expensive clothes to even snap. You just need to dress and go there. That's all. I really hope that this answers your question.
All right, thank you, Jessica. I'm sure that answered this question. Another question is, what do you have to say about the tag open to work on LinkedIn?
Okay. All right. So open to work tag, right? It's a double-edged sword. So, well, I guess why I say it's a double-edged sword is because I have both local and global experience. And while some people feel like open to work is really cool to put so that people can know that you are available for work, that's what LinkedIn actually designed the stuff for. But some people now see it as though you are trying to beg for work and you're not positioning yourself right. Like, your profile is not well optimized and you're using the open to work tag and so on. So this is what I would say, right? If you're comfortable with using the open to work tag, please use it. But while you are using it, you also want to make sure that you're taking active steps to position yourself better. For example, outside the country, because I follow lots of people outside, and maybe because I work with a brand outside too, I noticed that when people are laid off from their jobs or people are looking for opportunities, they write about it on their profile. They just write, "Oh, I'm looking for a job so and so, and I have so and so experience. This is what I have done, and so on. Please, if you're looking to hire me, you should hire me or refer me to somebody who will hire me," and so on. And you see like 100 people commenting and saying, "Oh, I'm commenting for Rich." What commenting for Rich means that if me and someone here is connected, for example, and the person puts on a particular post, puts up a post like this, and I comment on the person's post, people in my own network can see it. And if they want to hire you, they will hire you. If they want to type and say, "Okay, let me also comment for Rich too," it means you also have access to their own network as well. I don't know if you get, but the thing about that is that for them, it works well for them. If you're applying for an international job, you should try that. You should try that, especially if you are already connected with some people that you feel like if they see it and they like your post or they comment on your post, it will get people's attention. You should try that. But in Nigeria, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't like to say stuff that I don't know about. I don't know. You can try to post that you're looking for a job, but I don't know the possibility of it working well for you. It could be that the people you are connected to are also people who are looking for job too. So how effective is it going to be for you? That's why everything rises and falls on the people that you're connected to. That's why you should look for people that are these decision makers and try to follow them and engage with their content if they share, especially people that are at brands that you want to work for. You don't want to take a passive approach to your job search. So instead of using an open to work tag, for example, why not take an active approach to job search? For example, use LinkedIn job search to search and apply for roles that are related to yours. Guarantees that they may not always reach back to you, but the reason why they don't reach back to you sometimes is that you stop where other people stop. So for example, other people stop at applying for jobs and leaving it. But if you take the extra step and look for people at that brand, I will give you an example. My sister is a product manager, and before she got her current job, right? She saw this job ad where they were looking to hire people that are product management in tech. She has never had a product manager before, and then she applied, but she did not stop at applying. She reached out to the person, like to two people that actually work there. And she reached out to the people in the HR department. That was her choice. She also reached out to one other person too. It turned out one of my friends works there and I did not even know. She also reached out to that person as well. The more information she was gathering, the more knowledge she was having about the brand, such that when she was eventually called up for an interview, she was positioned better to actually, do well there. So all I'm trying to say is that instead of focusing on whether or not you should use the open to work tag, try to go beyond where other people stop. Other people stop at, applying. Reach out to the person who posted the job, or reach out to top management staff in the company to ask them about the role. You're not begging them for the role. You just want to ask them about the role, or find out if maybe this particular requirement, maybe there's something that is not clear to you about the job. You can ask and so on. You can even send a personalized pitch to them as well. I've seen it work for several people. I've even seen it work for myself, with my current job and so on. So I also believe that it can work for you too if you go the extra mile and not stop where other people stop. I hope this answers your question.
Wow, thank you very much, Jessica. I mean, there are a lot of questions for you, but our time is fast spent. But quickly, a lot of persons are asking for your slide if it will be made available. So I just wanted you to answer that yourself.
Okay, so this is like a training material. So it actually breaks my heart to say no, but no, it won't be made available. If you do have questions, you can actually reach out to me via LinkedIn and we can talk more about it. Yeah, like maybe every question, of course I can answer questions. If you have questions to ask, I can answer questions.
Okay, so because of our time, thank you very much, Jessica. We're not going to be taking any more questions. Please kindly reach out to Jessica on LinkedIn, and I'm sure she'll be very glad to take your questions. So quickly, let's go over to our Kahoot session. I don't know if Gerald is on the call. Gerald, if you're on the call, please go ahead with the Kahoot session. So because all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, so the Kahoot section is actually a game that we play to lighten the ambience.
Maybe just before the Kahoot, sorry to interrupt, Drew, can we take photographs at least?
Yes, I see a lot of persons already leaving, so let's quickly take photograph.
Thank you so much, Jessica. What a wonderful session it has been. I'm sure some of us are already packaging our LinkedIn profile. We must get those job opportunities. Oh, Chibuke, go to the studio right now and get your picture. But thanks so much, darling. Really fantastic session. Please, let's turn on our camera. I want to see your beautiful faces. Okay, while we're trying to do that, we have some of our senior members that also joined us, and our very own section chair. Good evening, SC. Mr. Danny Abia, thank you so much for joining. I also see Madam Imabong Basil. Thank you so much for joining. It's been a wonderful session for us, and we are so excited to have you this evening. Simeon, please help us take pictures.
Yeah, some persons are still turning on their camera.
Okay. Hi, Uju, I see you too. Are we good?
Yeah, we are good. We are good.
Okay. Please, let's drop on the child. If you know you had a wonderful session this evening, just say something to Jessica. If you want her back next time, say something to her.
Yes,
Thanks
because
so
it
much,
seems
guys.
the time was not enough to dish out all the. So let's encourage Jessica so she can come back next time and give us the full session.
Thank you. We love you.
Thank you very much, Jessica. Gerald, over to you, please.
Okay, thank you, Uju. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I think that was quite a very wonderful session. Thank you very much, Jessica, for all the teachings today, and I'm sure a lot of us will put what you said into practice, and we'll get very wonderful results from it. So on that note, I'm sure this is one of the sessions we've all been waiting for, especially my friend Chibike that likes to play most of my games. So we have a Kahoot session for you. Of course, we'd like to emphasize on aside technical sessions like this, also have times for fun. So quickly, we're going to be having a Kahoot session. I believe most of us are familiar with it. For those who are not familiar with it, it's simply a gaming platform. So all you need to do is just log on to www.kahoot.it. I will just type that in the chat box now. So you don't need to leave the call, just go to your browser, type in www.kahoot.it. You'll be asked for a game pin. The game pin is 619-7202, 619-7202. Or you can click on the link I have shared in the group or in the chat box, and you would have a direct access to the gaming platform. So I'll share my screen now. Once my screen comes up, please let me know. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen. Please, if you can just, can someone let me know you can see my screen? Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes, Game Master, we can see your screen.
Okay, thank you very much. So we have 18 participants now. So I'll just wait for about 15 more seconds for any other person that wants to join before we go ahead to start, because we're quite late already. So we have Queen, we have Franklin, we have PP, we have L, we have Dons, TC Paul, Sharon B, Shedi, Kenny Brim, Chiwike, Victoria, Promzi, Eti Baba, Prettiest, FabQ, Mayun, Ayu, and Samora. We have about 10 more seconds, and then we'll go ahead to start. So it's actually a very simple, not I won't say very simple, but questions you can answer from SPE, general knowledge, current affairs. So I hope you have a wonderful time. I hope you enjoy the game, and I wish us all the best of luck. So I'll go ahead and start. We have 19 participants, and may the best one win. Okay. So our first question is, in what city would the SPEI ATC 2022 be held? The ATC is coming up on the 3rd of October. How many of us know what city the ATC will be held? Oh, we have 11 correct answers. So the ATC will be held in Houston, Texas. So let's see who we have in the lead. We have Samora. That's a very, very familiar name. Then prettiest, and finally L. Let's move over to the next question. The Nigerian presidential elections will be held on what date? I want to know those people who are actually interested in Nigeria's politics and who are planning to be a part of the elections coming up next year. So the presidential elections will be held on what date? We held on the 25th of February 2023. Okay, we have 12 correct answers, which is quite a good one. So I believe we are all following with the politics in the country. So we have Samara still in the lead. We have LinkedIn Man, who just learned a lot from Jessica. I hope he can win or probably be one of our winners for this evening's session. The third question, which of these is not one of the YP committees in section 103? Which of these is not one of the YP committees in section 103? Is it the YP study group or technical or WLP or socials? How many of us are actually active in the YP committees? So the study group is the correct answer. There is no study group committee. Let's see who we have in the lead. Wow, just as I predicted, LinkedIn Man is ahead. So let's see if he can maintain that position. Fourth question, who is the 2023 SPEI president? Is it Medhat Kamal, Tom Blasingame, Mark Rubin, or Kamel Ben Nasser? How many of us actually know much about SP or are interested in SP? Yes, the correct answer is Medhat Kamal. Is the 2023 SPEI president. We have 11 correct answers. Let's see, LinkedIn Man retains the lead, while Chiwike has moved quite a lot of places to come in second, and Samora is in third. Fifth question, which section won the best YP section award at NIS 2022? Is it section 104? Is it section 61? Is it section 103? Is it section 116? I believe this is like a bonus question because everyone should get it correctly. But we still have some people getting it wrong. So it's actually section 103 for Harcourt section. So let's see, LinkedIn Man retains the lead. Okay, our scoreboard hasn't changed. So let's see if that will happen in the next question. Which of these SP section 103 YP social media handle names is incorrect? How many of us are actually following our YP social media handles? I'll know all of you now. Is it at SPYP 103? Is it none of the above? Is it SP section 103 YP or at SPYP section 103? So it's actually at SPYP 103. Instagram handle is SP section 103 YP, and our Twitter handle is at SPYP section 103. Please try and follow us on those platforms so that you can also get more information that we share on those platforms. So let's see our lead board, and it still remains the same. We'll go over to our seventh question. This year's SP Port Harcourt section annual general meeting was held on what day? Is it the 28th of July 2022? Is it the 3rd of August 2022? Is it the 9th of September 2022? Or is it the 15th of May 2022? How many people attended our AGM? It was on the 28th of July. We have 10 correct answers. Let's see. Okay, LinkedIn man is still in the lead, living up to his name. Let us see the next question. The late Queen Elizabeth II reigned for how many years? Is it 80 years? Is it 96 years? Is it 70 years? Or is it 65 years? She reigned for 70 years. Wow, we had 14 correct answers. I think this is the highest so far. Let's see who is in the lead. LinkedIn man remains in the lead. I'd like to know who LinkedIn man is. A ninth question, who is the current programs chair of SP Port Harcourt section? Is it Ofure Gege? Is it Ngozi Okonkwo? Is it Ane Abia or Sabi Pedro? Correct answer is Ngozi Okonkwo. Yes, let's see how many people got that right and who is in the lead. We still have LinkedIn man in the lead, Chibike in second, and Prettiest in third. And it's down to our final question. Let's see if LinkedIn man will go with the prize or someone else will do that. Who is the 14th president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Who is the 14th president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Is it Olusegun Obasanjo? Is it Musa Yar'Adua? Is it Muhammadu Buhari or Goodluck Jonathan? Let's see who our winner would be. We had just 4 correct answers. So the 14th president is actually Goodluck Jonathan, and the 15th president is Muhammadu Buhari. So let us see who are on our winners list. In third place, we have PTS. In second place, we have Chiwike, and as expected, in first place, we have LinkedIn man. This LinkedIn man, I'd like you to identify yourself. I really don't know who you are. I'd like to know who won my quiz session, and also so that we can identify you and give you your prize. Please do that. You can do that in the chat box. Just drop your name and probably a screenshot of your position so we can give you that prize. So I hope you all enjoyed being a part of this game. Thank you very much. And I'll hand over now to Uju to continue moderating the session.
Thank you very much, Gerald. Amazing stuff there, amazing. I suspected that LinkedIn man is actually Chibikim, so I was right, it's Chibikim.
I thought as much. It's always okay for us.
Very soon, but you became for participating.
Yes,
as well again.
So the winners, kindly identify yourself. Second place, Chinwike. I'm guessing that this is Chukwebuka Chinwike. And Prettiest, identify yourself so that we can actually contact you later for your prizes. Congratulations and thank you very much. So up next is our membership drive. I hope Ella is ready for the membership drive. So we're going to hand over to our membership chair to actually take the membership drive. Ella, I hope you can see the slide. Hello, is Ella on the call? Emanuela.
She said she can unmute. Okay.
Oh, sorry, she can now. Go ahead and unmute.
Ella, can you hear us? Would you please?
Yes.
You might run the show.
Okay, no problem. All right. Ella is really not available at the moment. So for our membership drive, for those of us that are not SP members,
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Wonderful game. So far, so good. I believe that everyone has. Well, I'm here again. I've come to share the word about for me after this membership drive. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Ella. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So like I was saying, I want you to do 2 out of 3 things for me after this membership drive. So if you're not an SP member, I want you to reach out to me after this call, and I'll guide you through how to get registered or how to join SP. I'm going to share my LinkedIn username here, since we know we're talking about LinkedIn, Emanuela Agbo on LinkedIn. Then secondly, if you are a member but your membership is not up to date, I want you to also reach out to me. I will guide you as to how to get your membership up to date. And finally, I want you to tell your friends about LinkedIn. Spread the word about LinkedIn, about SPE. Sorry, the LinkedIn is too much in my head. Spread the word about SPE. You cannot be enjoying the benefits alone. So basically, SPE means Society of Petroleum Engineers. But let me shock you, you don't need to be a petroleum engineer to be a member of SP. Anybody can be a member of SP as long as you have a stake in SP. So in SP, basically the mission and vision of SP is to provide unparalleled insight, shared expertise, and community strength to energize the success of its members. Yeah, so in SP, we have student members, we have young professionals. So this MTM was organized by the young professionals of SP. Then we have the senior members. Young professionals are people that are less than 35 years of age. Yes. Then if you're above 35 years of age, you're a senior member. So there are lots and lots of benefits in SP. First of all, you can gain career visibility. You gain from mentorship. For instance, now you learned about something that is positively going to influence your career. So you gain insights as to how to improve your career. Then also you get to impact and give back to the society by volunteering. So these are the benefits that you can gain from SP, and there are so many more benefits. Next slide. Now in SP, we have about 1,200 professionals and over 1,700 students. Now you can be part of our activities. Port Harcourt section is the second largest section in Nigeria. Yeah, so after this membership drive, they're going to be announcing activities for YP. So they are fun activities where you can learn, where you can grow. So I will encourage you to be part of such activities. Next slide. Finally, if you want inquiries or to make clarifications about membership or how to join SP, you can contact the SP Secretariat. You see the Gmail and the Gmail address there. Then you can contact our membership committee chair for the section, Mrs. Stonbury. Yeah, her email address is also on the screen. And finally, you can contact the assistant membership chair, Dr. Okereke. His contact is also on the screen. Then if maybe you want to contact me directly as the YP membership team lead, like I said, my LinkedIn handle is Emanuela Agbo. So you can reach me on LinkedIn, send me a DM, send me an invite, and I would respond and, guide you through it. Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Ella, for that one. So quickly, I'm going to invite our YP chair, Ofori Ogege, to take the announcement for the upcoming programs of the session and also for recognition, special recognitions.
Thank you so much, Ella. Thank you, Uju. What a session. What a wonderful session it has been. Please, if you're on this call and you're not yet a member of SPE, you're missing big time, big time. We normally have sessions like this back to back and it's always loaded. So Ella has told you how you can register to be part of this wonderful organization. Please don't miss this opportunity. Reach out to her or any other person. Uju is here, myself. You can reach out to us if you want to register as a member of SPE. A lot of benefits await you. Wow. Before I go ahead, we also have our Deputy Programs Chair on the call, Sir B.A. Pedro. Thank you so much for joining. I don't know if you want to say a word or two to your young professionals. We are super excited to have you this evening. Thanks for your time. Simeon, do you mind?
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Thanks for also having me here, even though I'm well past to IP, but I think you people are presently the drivers of the section. I don't know why we should be calling your programs YP section programs. They are very innovative, and I was driving, so I missed quite a lot. Please make the video available, and for each program like this, I think you should make it close so that it's just those who have become members that should benefit. I just saw somebody there. I will check if he has membership and that he should be benefiting and not being a member. I will shout. So thank you for all who came. Thanks for this lovely package. And I think you've scored a big one here. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks so much for your wonderful comments and remarks. Yeah. So once again, closing remark, I think we've pretty much said enough. Even our DPC has said it all. It's been a wonderful session. And of course, please watch out for more of our upcoming sessions, and both the section and also other YP activities. They are going to be packed and loaded just for you. On the 7th of September, we'll be having the step events for the next step you need to take in your career development. I'm sure the flyers will be out soon. So please don't miss that session. The speakers are ready to have you too. And then the section will also be having our own monthly technical meetings. And just follow us on LinkedIn. Now we've talked about LinkedIn. Please go package your LinkedIn profile. We need to start getting the dream jobs that you've always wanted for yourself. Just package your LinkedIn profile, get the required certification. Jessica has told us you can always reach out to her on LinkedIn. If you feel, you need guidance on a particular thing, feel free to connect with her and let her know that you were part of this session and you need her to guide you as you go about working on your profile. I know we're going to achieve lots of things in your career, and I wish you all the very best. I know it's going to be from glory to glory to glory. And special thanks to the team for putting this together, the technical team. This was really packed and it was a much needed session. So thanks to the leads and assistants and all team members and our wonderful, beautiful moderator, Uju. Thanks for always being there to support SPE in any way that you can. Well done, Israel Basil. Great job. Thanks, everyone. My co-chair, Ella, thanks for the push. Thanks for always sharing flyers for people to register and everything. Well done, guys. I really appreciate it. I think I'll hand over back to Uju now.
Thank you very much, YP Mama, for always pushing us to our very best. Thank you to everyone that stayed from the beginning of this call to this very moment. Thank you to all our senior members for being on the call. I know it's not always easy to join, but you all always make out time to join us and learn a thing or two. Thank you for encouraging us. Thank you for joining and staying till this time. So I'm going, just like we had an opening prayer before we started, we should also have a closing prayer. So can somebody from the audience give us a closing prayer? Anybody, any volunteer? Take the closing prayer quickly. Thank you very much.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the success of this program tonight. Lord, we thank you for our moderator, our speaker, our senior members, and every YP who joined this program today. Lord, we thank you for the success, and we ask, oh Lord, that all that we've learned, may you help us to implement them. And Lord, may we see the results in the coming days. Help us in our various places of work. For those of us who are seeking out new opportunities and better ones, may you grant us our heart desires, that at the end of everything, your name will be glorified. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much for that one. So it's the weekend, it's Friday. Let's try to, for those that are driving, drive safe. For those of us that already are home, try to get a lot of rest. And for those of us that will be going out, please try to be safe wherever you are. And it's Independence Day on Monday. Happy Independence in advance to all Nigerians all over the world. Have a blessed weekend ahead. Good night.
Thank you, Able Moderator.